All right, I'm recording now. So.
Okay.
Welcome to the That Scooter Thing podcast, episode 1. I am here with Mark from Mark Rides Scooters with People.
Hello.
He agreed to be a test subject for this first little experiment we're doing. And then next to Mark we have Carrot, my lovely wife, the other half of That Scooter Thing. And we're just going to talk a little bit about scooters, the scene, and what's going on. So, how are you guys doing?
Good. Doing well, thanks.
What are you guys drinking? Start with that. So we got to celebrate our first episode. Carrot drinks water.
Sparkling water.
Good. Sparkling water. I've got a dogfish head.
I'm staying kosher today. Oh, that one kicks twice. So I want to have one reoccurring topic on this podcast. So we'll start off by Mark. I'll ask Mark first. What have you been writing? What have you been working on? I know it's the beginning of the year, so there probably hasn't been much writing. It snowed yesterday. But what have you been doing?
I feel like I got out last week though. I got a little ride-in with both my GT200 and my Veloce. So I got a little ride-in last week, and then we've got a lot of work to do coming up. So that's going to be fun too. We'll talk about that later.
All right, cool.
Kara, what are you riding?
What do you think I'm riding?
Your new bike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I just got a new Kimco Spade as my first ever motorcycle. Woohoo! So I am slowly learning how to ride a motorcycle. As you guys know, it's foot shifty. It's not hand shifty anymore, different from the scooters. So I got out last weekend. I had so I got the bike on Saturday, and then was it Saturday? And then anyway, so I got the bike, and then I had a bridal shower in Lebanon, and I live in Liberty Township. So I was like, yeah, it's a 30 minutes ride, and the weather is like 40 Fahrenheit. It was 10 Celsius. Okay, either way, do the conversion yourself. And I said, great. It's just want to do a little ride by myself. So I text the bride, say, hey, is it okay if I come with motorcycle gear? Because I know she's like a pink lady. So she's like, yeah, that's not a problem. So I showed up all black at the party. And the theme of the party is all pink and flower. So I was like the most depressing people at the party. But it was a lovely party. I loved it. I loved the picture because I was really standing out. The only black and gray person in the picture. But the only flower I have is on my socks. That still counts. But it was great riding. I got a little bit of rain. I got a shower after bridal shower. On the way back, I was completely soaked. It was a good experience trying to, see how the bikes reacts with wet road and stuff. It was great. Love it. But I haven't got out ever since. Kind of sad.
This is why I get jealous because I got nothing to ride right now. I got so many bikes and nothing runs. Because both our Orange Stella and the Grey P are not in our garage right now. My KTM doesn't run.
Because you just got new tires.
Yeah, I just got new wheels. And then my SS could run. Maybe I should get that title.
Maybe.
Yeah, the SS runs. But we've had our hands full. I had my hands full in the garage. Last weekend when Carrot was out catching a shower after the bridal shower, I was building a Trini 260, which is currently residing in my basement. We had everything planned out to build it within 24 hours. A friend comes in, we build it, and he gets out. But it came to the last nut, the flywheel nut. We used a Kingwelle from Germany, a special crankshaft, which had this huge 64mm stroke. And they use a very fine thread on the flywheel side. So it turns out that the nut provided with his ignition did not fit, and the nut provided by Kingwelle did not fit the ignition. So we were in an impasse, and we couldn't do anything, and didn't have a backup ignition or anything. So it's currently residing in my basement, waiting for a nut from Germany. And I remember me and him, we talked it through hours and hours and hours. Do we have everything? Do we have everything? We had everything up to one single nut. That was a bummer. That was a real bummer.
What did we learn?
What did we learn? Keep your nuts together.
Solid advice.
Solid advice. Yeah. Yeah, I want to... this week has been something. There's a thread on Facebook, so for people who listen in, we are in the US. Mark, Carrot, and I, we are scooterists in the US, in the Midwest. And we're part of the US scooter scene, I suppose. And
Suppose.
One of the Facebook groups had a thread following the rally in Las Vegas about people commenting that it is hard for, and tell me if I'm wrong, if I sum it up wrong, it's hard for people to get into scooters. New people to get into scooters.
Younger generation.
The younger, yeah, it doesn't even have to be younger. I just think new generation to get into scooters, and why that would be. There's a lot of political opinions on that thread that I don't want to get into, but it sparked a thought that I shared with some of my viewers in the live stream earlier, and I want to discuss it with you. And I asked them, how would you attract someone? Why are you laughing? What did I miss?
Nothing. Keep going.
You guys can't see me, right? Oh, it's Guinness. Oh, Guinness.
No, we can't.
Oh, yeah, my camera is turned off for that. I'm sorry. So, how would you attract someone to the scooter scene? And by scooter scene, I don't mean vintage or automatic or Groms. Let's count Groms into. I mean, they're technically not scooters, right? But let's count Groms and Spades and mini motors and that kind of stuff in there too. It's just smun on full bikes, fun on small bikes.
You go first.
That's a big issue, and that's something. I'm on the board of Vespa Club of America. That's something we're thinking about a lot too. Is how to get new people into the scene. You know, I went with the old-fashioned method. We made a person, and now she's learning to ride. So, you know, there's always that technique to go out and make yourself a person, and then as that person grows up, you can teach them how to ride. And I think a lot of people who are in the riding scene had parents who rode, whether it was motorcycles or scooters. But I think a lot of people who ride did have parents who ride. So, you know, my daughter's 14. She just turned 14, and we've started her on her Honda Elite, it's the 80cc, just kind of riding around the neighborhood. balancing and getting used to it, and learning how to work on it. She's helped me work on the sprint. She's helped me work on our moderns. So, that's exposing kids to it is one way. Some of them will catch the bug, some of them won't. But then also, for me, it's being open and inviting to everybody. And, no matter their age, no matter their experience, no matter what they're riding, talk to them, get to know them, ride with people, talk it up, So I'm an open and inclusive person. I like to get lots of people in the scene. I ride modern and vintage, so I guess I'm a little weird that way.
Mm-hmm. And why do you think it's weird to ride modern and vintage? I don't see a difference. I mean, okay, there is a difference, right?
No.
There's more history with the bikes, but
right.
Well, I think Mark is trying to say that he himself does not think it's weird.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
He thinks other people might think it's weird. That's my understanding.
I think one of the reasons, and one of the reasons that I would say it too is if you ride vintage, odds are you put time and effort and work into your bike, and you have a little better understanding of how it works than a typical modern scooter rider. I've done a lot of my maintenance on my modern scooters. I've done a lot of my maintenance poorly on my modern scooters. But that's the one thing I feel when I think about the two different communities, the modern riders and the vintage riders. I think vintage riders do kind of know their bikes a little better. They have to work on their bikes a little more, so they put a little more time and effort. And a modern rider, a lot of times, will have a shop that they like Metro Scooter in Cincinnati, that they like to go to and have them take care of their bikes, but they like to ride. I think modern scooters are riders, and vintage riders are riders and mechanics and bullshitters, and So I think that's kind of the difference in the communities to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying there was a guy in the chat who, how did he say it? I even send you a screenshot. Goddamn, I'm gonna look it up here under my thingy real quick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna quote him. Everyone loves the vintage bike or vintage scooter, but not the other way around. Not all vintage guys like all scooters.
Ah.
Yeah, I think that's true, but I think not all vintage guys like all vintage scooters either.
Yeah, that's true too.
We were at that show, and we had our Vespas, and we were next to that Cushman, and that it just didn't appeal to me. There are definitely vintage scooters that don't appeal to me. And I'm sorry if you get a lot of hate mail from the Cushman people. So I apologize.
Hey, it's not my opinion; it's yours.
But it's just right. It's not myself. The Harley Topper. I know people who have a couple of those, and I've seen one run and it's a cool bike, but it's not my thing. So I think we can have different tastes. But, I get compliments on my vintage bike. I get compliments on my modern bike when I'm out. People like things that are different. Scooters tend to stand out because they're not that common around the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, Carrot and I, we like to scare people on our scooters.
Yeah, because we put really loud exhaust.
You scare me on your scooter.
You get that thumbs up when you ride through a small town. Where was I?
Yeah.
Oh, I was riding with the Gem City Rollers. I was with Matt. We were riding. He was on his rally. I was on my P, and we were riding that little fall ride, foliage ride. It was beautiful weather. It was a little chilly, but at the end of the ride, Matt and I break off to grab a beer, and we're on this long straight. It's like 55, and there's a car full of college kids. And it opened up, I think, to like 60. And there's a car full of college kids who point fingers and laugh at me. And you don't point and laugh at me. You don't do that. So I'm leaning into the thing and just flying by. Yeah, and then I got the thumbs up from them. So that's what you get.
Yeah, that's the right answer. That's the right response.
But Karen, how would you sell scooters to someone? Not sell the bike, right? But sell
like the
the
style,
culture.
like the lifestyle.
Is it? Yeah.
No. Okay, when I say lifestyle, it's kind of like, yeah, like it's a special lifestyle. You gotta maintain it. Not like that. I think it's more. I mean, scooter for me is more like my happy place, like my happy time, a happy thing to do. Like it just. When I'm on a scooter, I get to focus on something that it's just I don't get to focus on at the time. Like, I mean, when I ride a scooter, I'm not a really good rider. Like I don't have a lot of experience riding. So when I ride, I usually really focus on everything that can go wrong. And just really focus on the riding experience itself. And I really enjoy the fact that I'm focusing on something, if that makes sense. Because that just helps me not thinking about work, stress, like stressful things, and it just helps me relax, actually. And also it kind of like train me to like how I can just like shift into a zone that just me and my bike and the road, and that is just something like you don't get it somewhere else. But you get it with your bike, and it's just a very special experience to me. I mean, it sounds very how to say it, like yeah, you're just saying it, but like I think wait till you did yourself, you won't understand what that really means.
Mm-hmm.
And I especially enjoy riding in the country road. It's just like it's just you and the whole world kind of.
Oh.
And then me, like we usually ride out, and then it will be the same road that we drive every day. But when you ride, you get so many other information that you can't get when you're driving. One thing that you wouldn't think of is the smell, okay? When you ride, you smell everything.
You smell mostly the castor oil.
I'm saying like good and bad, you know. And then the first ride of the year, when there's a little bit of the signal of spring that is coming to, Midwest, you smell this like spring is coming. It's just very exciting. It's just something that you can't capture, you can't maintain, but it's just something that you get to enjoy at that moment.
We're gonna have to clip this, and Metro Scooter's gonna use it to sell bikes, because that was beautiful.
That was. Well, and I agree with Karen 100%. Especially the smell. I made incense for 21 years, so smelling things was something that I did professionally for a long time. But like the onion grass, the smell of onion grass around here in the springtime, that is, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's true too. If we could just get everybody onto a scooter, take them out for a ride, a lot of people would get it because there's nothing quite like it. I can't do justice to what Garrett just said. So
it's interesting because I want to talk about last summer when my parents came to visit us in the U.S. and they're both Harley riders, right? And Mark, you lend us your GT200, and they rode their first Vespa basically that day, and it was for us to discover a college campus, and we discovered it in a way that would not have been possible, I think, by foot or by bike, because we put enough mileage down that you wouldn't walk that, or you would be totally exhausted. We could sneak up. I mean, it was summer, right? So stuff was closed or it was open, but it was not publicly accessible. You couldn't park on campus, but we did park on campus because no one cares. And we could sneak by and we could have so much fun just on scooters. This was in town, and shorts and t-shirt. I mean, it's not, you should always wear your gear, but it was just such a perfect day that it fit. I know, I always wear my helmet.
Your dad's a Harley guy, shorts and t-shirt. That's full gear for Harley guys.
No,
so,
let's not promote that.
That's not true. It was his taste of the American experience. No, because you can't ride motorcycles anywhere else without a helmet. I mean, if you look even Vietnam, people, where everyone lives off the motorcycle.
Fair enough.
Keep going. I'm just saying, it was very shocking to me when I see, you're not required by law to wear a helmet. That's a little bit. Yeah. I'm like, I thought that's what helmet do.
It was
you
his
put it on when you ride.
It was his little taste of the American freedom that he wanted. Yeah, I agree. I think scooters are something. I really enjoy the two-stroke aspect of it. Two strokes are my thing, and you could also call it that two-stroke thing, but I don't have enough dirt bikes in the garage. Because scooters, especially vintage scooters, are like the last bastion of two-stroke shifties that you can ride on the road.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can build a 20, 30, 40 horsepower engine on 10-inch wheels, that's exciting. That's
exciting.
Every bike's an adventure bike if you make it an adventure.
I'm also good with a grocery getter. Everyone's,
yeah.
I mean, I'm old. I'm old.
What does that to do with you're old?
I like my bike slower sometimes, Garrett. That's a little more to the putter. That's living life at 45. Whoa, that's where I like it. 45. The sprint loves it at 45.
I don't think you're old, and obviously 45 isn't old.
Well, I'm immature. So that counts.
Oh yeah, that counts. Yeah.
And that counts as young.
So, Karen was saying she really enjoys riding in spring. No, she really like when the spring comes up, right? And it's true. Like I enjoy when you ride past a few trees into the sun, and then back into the shade, like that kind of riding. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and in the summer, despite how hot it is during the day, but I like to ride right before the sun went down, and then you enjoy the whole temperature changing experience. That is something too. I mean, I don't know about other places, but in the Midwest, as soon as the sun went down, the temperature just drops, and it just. I mean, for that half an hour, it's great. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
then it's too darn cold.
Yeah.
thinking of like special, like what do you enjoy about riding? Let's go back to season 2018. We have been to most events, I want to say, together.
Yeah, we did. You did
Like,
Scuda Q, I think, and Chicago,
Yeah.
and we did St. Louis. Those were the 3 rallies I think that we didn't all go to together.
Did we do
It was
the ice cream ride? Was in the beginning of the year, right?
yeah. Did
I
we
don't
do
think I
ice
did an
cream?
ice cream ride last year. No, I did an
No,
ice
we
cream
did
ride 2
donut.
years ago.
No, donut was a couple
No,
years
I
ago.
don't think I did anything last year.
Yeah.
We just worked
Come
on
on,
scooters. Because Amerivespa was like right after school ended. So Amerivespa was really early last year. We had Amerivespa, and then we had a week, and then we had band camp.
We don't talk about band camp here.
Yeah, whatever happened in Bandcamp, stay in Bandcamp.
Okay, that's enough.
That's already too much, guys.
No, that's a fun little rally. But let's reminisce a bit in 2018. Like, what has been your favorite? Let's start with favorite event, and then we move on to favorite moment. Let's go with favorite event. What was your favorite event? I'll start with Carrot this time.
Oh, my favorite event definitely goes to Amerivespa. I mean, it is my first ever American Amerivespa. Well, okay, Amerivespa is American Vespa. All right, Amerivespa it is. So I just think it is a great way for me to discover a city. So last year it was in Richmond, and then we spent like a couple of days in the city, and we were riding all the time. I'm talking about like we parked the car, unload the bikes, and then we just didn't touch the car ever again till we leave, right? Till we left. So it was riding all the time, and then like the city is not that big in my memory, and so it was great for like scooter commuting from event to event, and the parking is great, and I don't know, I think for me it was a great way to discover a new city.
Yeah.
Richmond was really cool.
It was hot. Aside from that, it was really cool.
It wasn't 2 years ago. Amerivespa at Memphis was way hotter. I didn't think Richmond was that bad actually. But no, that was Amerivespa in Richmond was really fun this year. Now one of the cool things I think about Amerivespa too, moving around, is now I want to go back to one of Seven Hills' normal rallies.
Same.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back for either Indian Summer or Dogwood. Probably not this year, but next year. You get so many places and you meet so many people that you want to go to their rallies. That was probably our big one this year. Was we went to St. Louis. We went out to 30 Days Scooter Gangs. Missouri Loves Company, and it's St. Louis is one of my daughter's favorite cities, and it was fun. I took the Sprint Veloce, which was the bike that I wanted at Amerivespa, so that was the first rally that I took it to, and so I got to ride that all weekend and really get to know it. Lee and I have been talking a lot about the clutch on that thing, and have reworked it and just had to get used to a different motor than Kirby had. So that was a great rally just to do a lot of starting and stopping in St. Louis and a lot of riding on that bike. But that was a really fun rally. Those guys are great hosts. I would recommend Missouri Loves Company is a great rally to go to if you're around St. Louis. I just like going to scooter rallies. You know?
Mm-hmm. So Missouri
How
loves
about you,
company.
Lee? What was your favorite?
I'm thinking. I want to say a Vespa, but then I couldn't get my fork done for the P200, so I'm a little bit salty about that weekend.
Yeah.
What was the first weekend that I took the P out? Oh, Indianapolis. So, yeah, okay, hands down.
Oh, that's
The
right.
the pop dryo ride in
That's right. I
Indianapolis,
forgot that.
why I could take that bike that I put blood, sweat, and tears in, and I could ride the Indianapolis GP circuit. Although I was way rich, something was wrong with the car. I couldn't full throttle it. I still hit 70 on the GP strip, even though they were like 45. So just fall back, half throttle, 70, 75. And then we get into the GP course, right? The inner couple turns, and there was like guys on big motorcycles just taking the turn slowly, and you see me 6'7", or for European guys 2.05 tall dude hanging off of his P200, cutting them into inside the corners. I would pay big money to ride that circuit again by myself for a hot lap. The inside, no joke, the inside of the Indianapolis track would be awesome for a scooter race. Like it's fast enough, right? It's fast enough to take the turns at an angle, still be technical, but still have fun on scooters. Like I've seen Malassi did a race at Imola, which was just you pin down and you go full throttle all the way. Even though you take your turns, there might be one or two turns where you brake. But I think the Indianapolis GP track would be amazing, and that was a phenomenal ride. And afterwards, I mean, I knew my bike wasn't set up perfectly, but the guys, the Indy Scooter Club, great hosts by the way, they took us out for another hour and a half. Right, let's go on a ride around the city. So we do an hour and a half around town, and the first 20 minutes in my brain is like, oh my god, I hope I don't overheat. I haven't even checked the spark plug since I ran the bike. You know, like if you build an engine, you think about all those things. And then at the end of the ride, I was just like, yeah, this was awesome. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then I went to Chicago, and Chicago was amazing too, aside that I lost my CDI at the night ride. But I want to say hands down the Indianapolis one was most fun. Prettiest was the one in Dayton though, and we didn't get to do much nature this year. But what was your... Yep, go ahead.
You missed out on you because your bike had those issues. You missed out on the raceway ride at the Richmond International Speedway, which was that was a big highlight of mine at Ameriva. So that ride was really, really fun on those high bank corners.
I couldn't.
The gas.
You know, the problem was I couldn't get gas that was high octane enough for that 190 that we built. It was so upsetting. I got gas across the street from the racetrack, and it said 93, but it was pinging bad. It was detonating. It was a piece of crap. I had to ride at like quarter throttle. I should have decompressed that engine, and then I got it running. I forgot what I did. I put a different spark plug in. No, it was after I got the gas, but then I was 2 beers in, and I decided to not go on the track. You know, we were in the parking lot, having high fives in the morning. High fives is a beer in the glove.
Yes. Oh, I know.
That was a fun parking. I really enjoyed that parking lot too, because you could see all the different groups arriving at the same time. Like not at the same time, but in their groups. So you had a group of vintage people, you had the moderns, the concourse was set up. That was cool.
No, they were great hosts.
Yeah. So what was your single best experience throughout the season? It doesn't have to be an event, but just like, what's the most memorable thing that happened last year when it comes to scooters?
For me, it's got to be winning that bike. I teach, and so I'd actually taken on a summer job because when I was done with the summer, I was going to buy another scooter, and we would go to Vespa, and we ended up winning a 1974 Vespa Sprint Veloce in the raffle. It was just a beautiful bike. Seven Hills did an amazing job on it. But
gorgeous bike, yeah.
Gorgeous. A prettier bike than I thought I would ever own. Then I looked at my wife and I was like, I've hit the number. I'm good with scooters. I've got all I need. And I'm thinking, boy, I could use probably about 2 or 3 or 6 more scooters.
We got close at band camp. We were one number off.
Well, one number.
I remember that. That was a nice bike.
Garrett, go ahead. What was your most memorable experience?
That every time we ride a scooter and go get ramen, it will be my most memorable experience. Because I love
that
ramen.
all day ride to Columbus.
Oh yeah, for that 2 bowls of ramen.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was 275 miles in a day.
It was so cold on the way back.
Yeah, on your tuned Stella.
Oh yeah. You were like, Lee was trying his best to catch up.
Yeah, there's no way. Why do you think I built a 225? I think my most memorable was we came through the back roads, and I was leaning down, and I was like doing over 80 on the GPS, and I come up and I chill, and I like at 75, and I look, where's Carrot, right? Because I have my mirror down on my foot, so I turn around, and she's right next to me, and she didn't notice how fast she was going.
Yeah, because the thing didn't work on my bike.
Yeah.
Yet.
You don't want to know how fast you're going.
But yeah, that was because that was the two. I mean, we did that cool video of comparing both bikes, but just having them both next to each other riding.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was a lot of fun. But then again, you talking about ramen. I remember that one ride at the Vespa when we did. Remember we rode up with you, Mark, and the group where we did like 55 for an hour, pinned down. Matt's poor Bajaj was coughing and spitting. It's like the fastest 2-port in the world. And on the way back, we decided to just split off, take the back roads, discover them on our own, and we hit this beautiful little patch of country roads, and it was well-deserved shade because it was so hot that day. And then we got ramen.
Nice.
And then we did the back hills of one of the 7 hills, I guess, in Richmond. And we met up with the 7 Hills scooter gang at the pool. And then Karen went. And then Karen went and destroyed some kids in table tennis. They were playing there, and Karen goes over, "Can I play?" And I don't want to say obviously she destroyed them.
I was trying to teach them a lesson. Never say yes. I want to play table tennis with a Chinese girl. Just kidding. Not every single Chinese are really good at table tennis.
So we were looking over. We were sitting there.
Just that one.
We were sitting over, and Carrot just does a huge smash, the ball flies a mile away, and the kid's and it runs after the ball.
I think it's a swimming teacher.
Yeah.
Come on, pick up your game. Get your stuff together.
What was your favorite bike of 2018? Not the one you own, but one you saw, and describe it, because people who are listening might not know.
Favorite bike that I saw this year. I'm gonna actually have to give it to. I'm gonna have to give it to how Matt's Allstate looked at Garage Brew. Our friend Matt had been working on this Allstate, and what is it? 68,
64.
64. And the way, and we all got into a bike show in the Cincinnati brewery, and but just the way he polished it and shined it up, he just put a coat of wax on it. But you know, it had that classic old bike dull patina, and the wax just kind of gave it this leather look. It was beautiful. It was kind of like it turned an ox blood. It was a gorgeous bike, and I just loved the look of it. I thought it looked so pretty, and it was everything was well lit, and it was all nice. But
It fit well with the
bike,
wall.
man, it looked just so good. That is it. That Allstate.
Mm-hmm. I can't pick my own bike, so I'm not gonna. But I want to wait for Garrett.
I'm
Oh,
just
it's
thinking. I don't know.
You don't
I
know?
don't know.
I think one of the most fun things I built last year was
The SF.
Steph's bike. No, was Steph's bike. Like that rusty. I mean, I didn't make it rusty, right? I just make it fast. But again, we over rusted it for Garage Brew, and it just looked so in harmony. The rust and the green and the knobbies, everything kind of fit. It was cool. I really liked that bike.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else's bikes I saw. John Shepard's had an orange
Rally?
What? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He had a Vespa.
In Chicago, he had El Toro, which is an old piston-ported, like the shop piston-ported built Lambretta, and it's a mix of rust and patina, and it has like El Toro, and it has a spare wheel that's held in by leather straps. And John he's not a small guy, right? And not a short guy. He's by no means round, but he's not a short guy. He's tall, and he tried to get me to sit on it. I don't know if he tried to sell the bike or not, but I sat on it, and it feels so cool. You just feel badass as soon as you sit on it, because the bike has a name.
You know who else's bike was really great? I don't know if you saw it at Maravesta. It was Jessica Skinner's Rally. It's like a bronzish color. I think it's a Volvo paint color. And it had that airplane on the front fender. I thought that bike's really pretty.
Do you have a picture of it? I'm actually thinking I'm gonna edit pictures of the bikes in afterwards. Could you take a note somewhere to send? I'm just gonna send you a message.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I have a picture of Jessica.
Rally with crest, and what's the other one? That's John's Rally orange.
John, I don't have a picture of John's bike. I don't think.
I'll see if I can find one.
I rode with that bike twice this year at 2 different rallies. So it sticks out to me now.
So, Carrie, what was your favorite bike?
Oh,
my bike.
No, let's try not to pick ours. I mean, I'm an idiot. I picked Steph's, so I'm gonna repick. Can I change my pick? But Carrot, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's probably one of those bikes in Amerivespa, I think. The one has what's his name? Alex is his first name.
Yeah.
He and his wife.
Oh, yeah.
The sidecar. I thought that was
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's not just, I mean, there's a couple of category of the bike. It's like, oh, it's really old bike and make it look all shiny, original and stuff. And I mean, it's good work, but also there's another category I'm more interested in is a bike you gave a second life, kinda. To me, I think you gave the outside still the vintage looking, but the inside is like the new technology, the new stuff, the modern technology into it. It's kind of give a second life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The brake that works really well, not just the old brakes. I think that's important.
Right.
Okay, if you're gonna ride it,
I'm with
that's safety first.
All right, I'm gonna repick, and I'm still gonna pick one of our bikes because I love Matt's Rally so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
That disc brake.
So Matt Schmidt wins this round.
Matt Schmidt wins that Scooter Thing podcast episode 1. He was supposed to be here, but he couldn't. So I
Number
guess
one.
he's here number 1.
Number one.
Number 1. Yeah, but what are you looking forward to in 2019? And I know we're gonna talk about AmeriVespa, but let's skip AmeriVespa for a second. What else are you looking forward to?
Ride as much as possible with my Kimco Spade. Period.
I think we're.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you talk.
Me? Okay. Well, yeah, because I'm a person that likes to take risk, but I don't like to take that much risk. But with the Kimco, Lee hasn't touched it, so it's a very, very honest bike. Like it's not wild.
What?
Yet.
What?
What? I'm not saying you make the bike negative. I'm just saying the bike is not wild. It's like a well-trained horse. You take out, you gave the command, it's gonna do what you tell the bike to do.
Yeah, horses only run when you give them carrots.
I thought that's donkey. But anyway.
The jokes.
All right. Well, you know what I'm saying. Just I think for me, I'm not a very experienced rider, and this bike, just Kimco Spade is it's pretty moderate. Like it's not wild, and then it's a great bike for me to learn. I just think, and I don't have to worry about running out of gas because the dashboard all works. Everything on the dashboard works, and it just there's less things I need to worry about when I'm on that bike. So I want to enjoy other things more.
When you say everything on the dashboard works, I want to defend myself. I want to say that when you got your Stella, it didn't work at all either. Okay, and I didn't touch it. I never made your Stella dashboard worse.
Oh.
I only made it equal. And now it shows temperature and RPM, so I technically made it better.
Okay, I gave you that credit.
Yeah.
I gave you that credit.
We lost the miles per hour, but we gained temperature and RPM.
That is important for that bike.
That is actually true.
No, I just think like I have a lot of things to worry about. Like I don't have to worry about I might stall and in the middle of the road, and I have to move to the side and then kick it back again and all that little things. To me, it could be annoying, but
I like the Spade. When I ride it, it reminds me of the 50 that I had when I grew up, because you really have to work the gears. You have to punch the gears like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. to make it to make it do what you want. Like, no, imagine this. I had a 50cc two-stroke engine with 6 gears. And when I got it, it was restricted because you weren't allowed to go over 45 kilometers an hour. That's like 32, 33 miles an hour. We weren't allowed to go over 45 kilometers an hour. So they welded this little tab, this restriction, into the exhaust. So I was going 45 with 6 gears. And you couldn't get anywhere. Right? If you went uphill, you had to go down to second. I remember I rode uphill restricted. My friend ran past me.
Yeah.
And and once you de-restricted that was a lot of fun. And the Kimco reminds me of that because I mean it has more power than those bikes, but you still have to work the gears and you get the speed out of it, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. One of the things that I want to try and do every year is go to a rally in a city that I haven't gone to a rally in before. So last year was St. Louis. This year we're talking about doing DC, going out to the Raduno by the Italian American Society. They've started hosting a rally. This will be their second one this year. So we're hoping to make it out to that one. So I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, we always look forward to a Vespa, and like Lee said, we'll talk about that later. Pardon me. But I'm also looking forward to trying to get down to Cincinnati a little more, ride with the local folks down there. You know, I like to get my normal riding in around here in Oxford. A lot of country roads, like Karen was saying, and, you know, just try to get some miles in. You know, 3 bikes, it's a lot of riding to do. And then, you know, ride with my daughter a little more, wrench with my daughter a little more. So, you know, that's one of the nice things to do in the summer. So, a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, I can't wait to get our little Yamaha CA running hours. I mean, it's Matt. Matt wins everything.
Yeah.
But I really want to take it to the Smallbore event. I don't know what they call it, but the Smallbore at Barber.
Oh, down at Barber, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, June's going to be stressful because it's going to be that. And then it's going to be the rally we not speak of. And then it's going to be Vespa. And I really want to do all 3. But the Smallbore at Barber is something I want to see. Because I think there's a lot of potential of intermingling communities, right? Because the 50cc scene has exploded since and I'm not saying since we started doing it. It's not because of us.
There's no causation.
It is because of us.
No, shut up.
There's correlation, but I don't think it's causation.
No. I'm talking about when I built that Typhoon.
Nice, well played.
When I built that Typhoon back in 2014, when Mark, Karen, and I met. I mean, I knew Karen before. When Karen and I met Mark, we were building a Typhoon in our studio apartment.
Jesus, that thing.
And that thing, a year later, turned out stupidly, hilariously fun and fast.
I'm glad that thing is sold.
But when I was looking to buy parts for that, it was hard to find them in the US, right? I had to turn to Europe. But since there's been Scooter Swap Shop and Scooter Tuning Canada have developed a pretty good network where you can order your parts from. I'm not advertising here. I'm just trying to state down the logistical network. And the 50cc scene has exploded, so people are looking to make small stuff stupidly fast, right? Which is totally that Scooter thing mentality. And I think it would be fun to go down to the Smallbore thing at Barber with both the P200 and or the VNB at that point. I want to get that VNB done. I got a crankshaft, so I can start working on that engine. And with the Yamaha, that Yamaha.
I might hitch a ride with you.
Oh yeah. What? You going somewhere? Or you coming?
I might go with you to Barber.
Oh, cool. Yeah. They have a motorcycle thing going on at the same time, and we can stop in Chattanooga on the way. So it's a perfect trip. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to building that VNB. It's been rusting away in a good way.
Yeah.
It only needs assembled when the engine is. It only needs assembled. So I'm looking forward to that. And it needs wired, which I think we got a formula down now to wire. So that'd be fun. But when it comes to events, I'm looking forward to 420, and it has nothing to do with 420. I'm looking forward.
Bro?
Really? I thought it is.
No, because you're gonna ride. No, I'm looking forward to the first annual That Scooter thing, a little meetup. I don't even have a name for it yet. What did I call
I
it?
think the little meetup. Little meetup sounds good.
That meetup thing.
That
meetup thing.
That sounds like that sounds like a podcast for butchers.
Like.
These are the jokes.
Oh, that season launch party. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
I've been busting my butt to set up a schedule. Right now, it's a 1-day event. It's not even an event. It's a gathering, right? As it stands right now. As it stands right now, you meet in the parking lot of Metro Scooter from 10:30 to 12:30. We're gonna have coffee there. I think we're gonna have
coffee.
We're gonna have good coffee off of an ape. Hopefully, still working on that. And then after that, there's gonna be a little scavenger hunt style game where you ride around town and you take pictures of stuff to find. You don't have to find everything, but a lot of it is going to be random, so you might not find it. It's not a destinational. It's a mix of destinational and randomness, right? An example would be go down to the ferry in Cincinnati. Let's take that. And John said call it Rule 25, because Rule 25 is if you see a ferry, you take
25.
it. So the achievement... The event's going to be an achievement run is what we call it, where you gather as many achievements as you can. So let's say you go for the achievement run for the ferry, and you go get Rule 25, and you go down to the ferry, and you take a picture with your little team to get up points of the ferry ride. And then at the same time, you see a moped next to you, right? So you can gather some achievement points as well for taking a picture with the moped, right? So there's a little randomness sprinkled in, except if there's moped people that show up, which I hope, because that would make it so much easier for everyone involved. But if it's not, then there you go.
Find your own moped people.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have a small happy hour afterwards at a bar in Cincinnati from 4 to 6, from 4 to 8 actually. That sounds.
Plug the bar.
What plug? Yeah, well, I'm just announcing. I'm really looking forward to that one. Oh, plug the bar. Oh, I got you. Yeah, it's the Listing Loon in Cincinnati. It's a great bar. It's our friend Mel. They got great beers on tap. I know it's like, oh my god, they have great craft beer on tap, but no, they got some decent beer on tap. And if you're hungry, there's a good pizzeria next door too.
And all you need.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to that scooter launch, that season launch party. I don't even call it scooter because it's open for motorcycles, mopeds, scooters, whatever. But I'm also looking forward to a Vespa.
It's called a 2 wheels. Well, there are some 3-wheel bikes.
Yeah, you can come with a sidecar.
Less than 4
We're
wheels.
open to all,
bike.
Carrot.
Yeah.
No quad runners.
You just can't come with bike. You just can't come with car. No cars. Yeah.
D-wheel tolerant.
The Vespa is gonna be fun. It'll be fun this year.
And I don't disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I do not disagree at all.
I'm looking forward to the weather, actually.
Yeah. Mark, why
A
don't
little
you
cooler up in Wisconsin.
tell
Never
us
been.
about AmeriVespa this year?
So this year we've got I'll have to look up the calendar for the dates. The 15th. So it's the 18th. 18th through the 23rd. Yeah,
I
think it's
see.
the
I
18th
see you are well prepared.
I am. I
It's-
am. I
It's
got notes.
19th is Wednesday to the 23rd.
19th. Okay, 19th through the 23rd. So in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, the Lake Geneva Scoot Jockeys are our hosts this year, along with the Vespa Club of America. It should be a good time. There was a few people have talked about seeing the price that it's $125. One of the reasons that it's $125 is because it's only $75 for members. So we want VCOA members to feel like they're getting something for their money. And one of the big things they get for their money is $50 off of AmeriVespa registration. So it's $75. It is a great deal. But it's a great rally. We have a lot of sponsors. We have a lot of fun. We're going to try and break the Guinness Book of World Records largest scooter parade record for a parade around Lake Geneva at the end of the rally, or the last day of the rally.
Mm-hmm.
Graham and and Lars and the Scoot Jockeys have got a pretty cool gymkhana lined up for us. It's going to include a hill climb. So bring your most capable scooter. This is where the big ruckus. If you roll into town with a big ruckus, you're going to be in good shape, I think.
Nah, I got plans.
You got plans.
I got plans, and if we didn't have too many beers, I think Joe's on board too. We'll build something silly, short term, very short term.
Put that wide tire on Kirby, make him a beast going uphill. Get those 3-season high knives on there.
All I can say is stretched out small frame.
What else do you need to say?
Just get a ruckus with a double wide tire.
I didn't say what engine was gonna be in it.
I got first aid kit. That's what I.
That should be fun. We've got we've got a lot. AmeriVespa has kind of been my family's family vacation since. I look over here at the posters since 2014. We went to New Orleans for our first one with John and Jamie Freyer, and that's become our family vacation ever since. We missed the one in Seattle just because that's a lot of travel, but we've been to every other one since then. Indy, Memphis, and Richmond. So we're looking forward to Lake Geneva this year. It's going to be, it's just a great time. It's one of my wife and daughter and my favorite rallies. We like to go see different places, and a lot of times it's in the city. And so since we're country mice, it's always fun to be in a city for a change. Urban riding is different than country riding. It's kind of fun for us. Just the little differences. But man, I'm really looking forward to Lake Geneva. We met Graham and his family at AmeriVespa in Indy, and let me look at the poster again. 2015. And so yeah, we've seen them every year. So I'm really excited to go up there when he and his club are hosting, and hang out with them, and it's going to be a great time. Beer and broths, and vegetarian friendly too for my family.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to ride with the guys from up there, from the Club Scoot Jockeys. When was it, in July?
Mm-hmm.
And we just did a short lap around the area because it was getting dark, and I just drove 8 hours.
Yeah.
But I I'm really looking forward to Lake Geneva, because not only did I ride a little bit around Lake Geneva, I also rode on Lake Geneva on ice recently, and I really like it up there. And the group is really cool, to the point that that scooter thing is going to be involved. We're building the engine, and we're going to get it on point for the Club Scoot Jockeys vintage raffle bike. So if you come to Vespa, you can win a bike with an engine that I built.
And runs.
It runs. And it's going to have a running dashboard, okay? It's me and Joe from Saint Cycle Works. We put a lot of effort into the engine. It was welded up. We cut a third port in it. It's going to be a nice little cruiser. It'd be great. It'll be cool.
It's going to be fast?
It's going to be an 8-inch bike.
Ooh.
Well, that's, that there's the one you all are putting together, and the VCOA is also raffling off a Super, an old Vespa Super. So we'll have 2 vintage bikes in the raffle this year. So it'll be a good rally, good raffle bikes. I think one of the things that Josh and the folks on BCOA these days have talked about is we want to try and reach out to the vintage crowd. We want to try and make sure that Vespa and BCOA is a place where everybody feels welcome. It's a great intro club for people who are just getting their first scooter, who want to learn a little bit about the community and riding. But we want it to be a place for people too who have ridden for a long time and who love these crazy, ridiculous little machines.
So last year, the Mary Vespa, we slept with the pig. Not with the pig, but we slept
Penny.
You did sleep with the pigs.
In the same yard than Penny the pig, and it was awesome. And this year, as it looks, we're all gonna have our little the cabin together, 10 minutes outside of Lake Geneva. And you know what I'm looking forward to? I want to rent a little boat when it gets into the evening, the sun's going down, and we can just go out on the lake a little bit. I mean, scooter riding, yes, but wouldn't it be rad if our little group got all together and we can have some cold beers and sit in a pontoon or something?
I was going to say, we own a sailboat. Let's throw the sailboat on top of the station wagon.
But you have to patch the hole, don't you? Doesn't have a hole in it?
No. I have 2 sailboats.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's.
Now, what if we built a trailer for Kirby to pull the sailboat? How heavy is the sailboat?
The little one it probably could pull. The GT could pull it for sure. The hardest thing I think to pull would be the trailer. So it would have to be a real lightweight trailer. And I wouldn't trust it.
There we go. We got a video. We got a video going. We got a video going for summer. Yeah. Well, I'm looking. I'm really looking forward.
No, we have a blooper reel going.
Maybe we tried with the boat with a hole in it first.
Perfect. My dad just wants that to be gone.
I'm looking forward to Mary Vespa. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The nature's awesome, but yeah, the scenery, that's the right word, is super fun. And then I'm looking forward to do a hill climb on something stupid.
My daughter is so looking forward to watching the hill climb.
But no. We're gonna put knobbies on the Elite, and she's gonna go.
She's not this one, but probably the next one. Maravest 2020 will probably be the first one that will bring a bike for her. I'm looking forward to that. She's looking forward to that.
Yeah. Kara, what are you looking forward to at the Vespa?
Are we gonna bring the dogs?
Oh yeah,
dog friendly.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Guinness and Murphy will enjoy that.
Yeah.
And it will be a good time spent with friends, Mark and other good people, just in a different city, and we explore together. Oh, I'm looking forward to any good ramen restaurant.
I don't think there's I'm wait, hold on, I'm googling that right now. Lake Geneva.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lake.
Or any good seafood restaurant.
If you're listening, it's Noodles and Company. If you're listening and you are in Lake Geneva and you have a business and you have money to open a business, even if it fails, please open a ramen shop so it's open during, what was it, June 19th.
Started in May. Work out the kinks. Go out of business in July. You're fine. We're good.
Simple ramen night. No, that's. There's a simple cafe that has ramen night.
We'll bring a bunch of packs of ramen with us.
Ramen is a thing. You gotta be dedicated to it.
Yeah.
If a ramen shop sell like other type of food, even just sushi, that's just suspicious to me. Okay, but
you can only focus on one or a few things.
Yeah.
Karen is sidetracking us.
Yeah. Well,
the ramen session.
Or any good seafood.
Yeah. Well, before we close this up, this was a lot of fun. This went way better than I expected. So thank you guys. Before we go,
what were you expecting?
Right. What does he think about us?
I expected nothing, and I didn't get disappointed. So I want let's start with Mark. How can people reach out to you if they want to talk to you, and what can they look up? Where can they look up Vespa Club? No, Vespa Club of America is right here on the screen. But how can they look up AmeriVespa and so on?
Yeah, go to VespaClubofAmerica.com, click on rallies. That'll take you to information on AmeriVespa. Also a link to register if you want to register. You can actually join right there. And you'll still save you'll save about $35 off of registration. So if you join the VCOA, you'll still get that money taken off of AmeriVespa registration. If you want to look and see what I'm doing, I'm on a couple places on Facebook, Mark Rides Scooters with People, because that's what I do. And also my other scooter page, which is Project Kirby. But Lee, thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed this chat tonight with the two of you. A lot of fun. Always fun riding with you guys, and it's going to be a great 2019 for riding for all of us.
You need to change Project Kirby to award-winning Project Kirby. 3-time. No, wait. That 4-time award-winning Project Kirby.
That's true. He does it. I love that bike. I'm still torn on whether to enter it into concourse this year at AmeriVespa, because I feel like I should just be kind and let other people win.
Yeah, you can't. I will. I'm going there with my VNB. Okay, I will protest if you are entering Kirby again.
But, all right. I will enter. I'm probably going to bring Ginny. I'll probably bring Toulouse and Ginny.
Cool.
My GT and the Veloce.
Karen, where can people find you if you're interested in sharing?
Well, I can be reached by TST Carrot on Instagram.
TST_Carrot.
Yeah, TST_Carrot. I haven't started posting heavily about my riding lifestyle yet, but I will start very soon.
Yeah, I think when we wrap this up, you post the first picture, and then we'll take it from there. Cool. Yep. Well, I am at that scooter thing. I mean, that's how you found us. That's where we are. I really enjoyed this podcast. 1, 2, 3. I really enjoyed this podcast, and I messaged Carrot. Hey, can you get me a beer? So I ran out of beer.
I don't have my phone next to me. I am focused on this podcast.
So
I don't know about you.
I want to quickly talk about the podcast because
my wife got me a beer.
I want to talk about the podcast real quick because this has been an idea that's been floating around for a long time. I'm multilingual, so I'm hoping to get a lot of international folks on here too. If I do some interviews in French or German or whatever, they'll be subtitled. We're going to try and upload to, what are the outlets? Bandcamp and iTunes. So you can listen to this stuff on your phones.
Not that Bandcamp.
Not that Bandcamp. No, the other one. I think that's how I should have looked. I should have looked into this.
Oh, that is. You're right. That's Bandcamp is a music file sharing.
Yeah. And I think it started when we had, which is another cool moment of 2018, when we had Marcus André Maya on his 80 day around the world come over, and we did this little live interview with him. So I'm really stoked. He agreed to come on the podcast too. So I think in the next couple episodes, I'll have a one-on-one with Marcus and talk about his full experience and so on. So I'm stoked about that. He actually hasn't had an English interview since he got back. It's all been local. Not all been local, but German, Spanish, and Portuguese.
He's been
whatever.
busy.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to catch him and do a German 1, 2, 3 English interview. We'll get Seth from Metro Scooter on here. He agreed to talk a little bit about how he got into scooters, which I'm stoked about. I love that story and I want to share it with everyone. And then if you out there, if you're listening and you're interested and you have a cool story to tell, send us a message and we'll see if we can squeeze you in and we can bring you on here. So thank you for tuning in. Let's do a 1, 2, 3. Hold on. You know what to say, Carrot, right? Don't forget to go subscribe, all that good stuff. So don't forget to comment,
subscribe, all that good stuff,
and like
and all that good stuff. Okay.
Comment, subscribe, and like all that good stuff.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'll cut it here. 3, 2, 1, and we're out.
Bye.